Hi, everybody. We are so glad you've joined us today for Cabin Chat with David and Kirsten Hart. We have our boss with us today, our good friend, Ken Berg. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Hi there, Harts. How are you doing?
We're good.
Good.
I'm looking at everything behind you, which you have outstanding things. You have books, you have maps, you have that gorgeous harp. But I see something on your computer screen, and it's a beautiful picture. You took that, didn't you?
I took that picture, and photography would be, I consider, more of a hobby, a passion hobby, than it would be any kind of a full-time work. But I spend more time here working on it in Photoshop, shall we say, after I take the pictures. I only take my camera out of its little stall here maybe 4 or 5 times a year. I hardly ever use it, but when I use it, it's passion. I really enjoy doing it. So yeah, a lot of my pictures then I use basically for Facebook, the daily postings with a scripture that accompanies it. And even in my new calendar, which just came out, called Blessings.
Beautiful.
These are flowers in Israel. And so in my background is in visual communications. I studied in New York art. So film, television, photography were all encompassing in getting my degree in fine art, Bachelor of Fine Arts. And so I dabble a little bit in all of those, as with you guys, with video, obviously.
Right.
And I lug my camera around when I go to Israel or go to see my daughter. Or I recently went to Colorado to take pictures of the Milky Way, which I'd never done before.
Gosh, but that looks like it was at sunset. It's so bright.
Well, yeah, I took these pictures at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, complete dark, with on my camera a 30-second exposure, which that's a really long time for the light to penetrate and make its way to your chip. And if you had the eyes of an owl, I guess you would see what's up there. You would see the Milky Way. You would see these beautiful clouds that are actually the reflections of light from the ground at 2 o'clock in the morning. You just don't see it.
Right.
But in many ways, it's kind of a picture of us before the Lord's creation, that it's there, but we just don't see it. And it's so sad when even in the course of a day, we'll walk by flowers or whatever, not notice them, not to mention what's up in the sky.
To the fact that you were up in the mountains at 2 a.m. Did you camp up there? Did you camp up there?
Well, I did it twice. One time I went out at like 12 o'clock till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And the next night from the entire night, right on through the morning. And then I got the sunrise. So, and it's kind of a special way to do it, where you have to know where the Milky Way is going to be in reference to the horizon, which changes day by day. So I go out in advance and figure out where I want the Milky Way in reference to the landscape, to the tree. And so it was an eye opener for me.
I would assume, were you out there by yourself? I mean, did you hear wolves?
I was. In fact, I fell backwards and scraped up my knee pretty, because you have to be in complete dark. There cannot be any moonlight. There can be zero light.
I mean, there could have been mountain lions out there. Did you anything rustling?
I wasn't in the jungle. I was in Estes Park, Colorado.
We have mountain lions in Colorado.
Well, okay.
I love your pictures, but really what I love about it is you put scripture to many of your photos, and it just brings it to life. And if you don't have Ken on Facebook or any of our social media, you need to get on and like these photos. I like them all the time, or put a heart at the bottom of, because they're so meaningful, and the scripture just brings it to life. It's amazing.
Okay, you have this one shot of Mount Sinai that is just outstanding. Do you have that around?
Where's that book? We talked about it. Reach back here.
I mean, it's
just, this is my book, Heaven and Earth. That is kind of look around here. That is Mount Sinai. one of the more interesting trips I ever took, obviously. I've not been back, but just one time.
Wow.
We got up, took a camel ride to the base of the mountain, then had to climb pretty much all the way to the top where I took this photo.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the moon.
I agree. Yeah, very rugged.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You took a camel ride from like a base camp to
Camel from a base camp, correct, to the base of the mountain. And then climbed these steps. Clayton Herring was with me. And it was cold. I remember when we got up to the top, we had blankets that we wrapped around ourselves to warm up.
Wow.
But to see the sunrise in up there is amazing too. Yeah, just amazing.
How does someone get your book? If people are like, I want to see this photography, how do they get it? How can they find it?
Well, they can go to my website, bergproductions.com. I have a store there.
Okay.
An e-store, which will direct them to my Kenneth Berg collection. I have a collection of books and calendars and artifacts that I've put together from Israel and over the years. So, yeah.
And I know when we chatted with you in our last cabin chat, Dave asked you a question about the craziest story and doing production. Did you, what has been your hardest shot to get? Was it the Milky Way? Was it the one on Mount Sinai?
The Milky Way being more recent. I didn't do a lot of climbing. I had to do some climbing in complete darkness. And but the reward was just, I saw a glimmer of it when I played it back there, but I didn't see the whole thing until I got right here in my office, my computer right there.
Wow.
And really opened up all the dark areas and saw that how magnificent God's creation is. We are so small, that God still cares for us.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very moving experience for me.
Yeah.
So difficulty, I don't usually plan my photos all that much. It just kind of happens during the course of production. I'll take pictures of Esther, Ruth, or whoever in drama, and which I kind of block out in advance for video. And then since everybody's there, I take my still photo at that point in time.
Hey, we're all hoping to go to Israel in October.
Yes.
And if you have been with us on a tour, you have met Ken. If you've been on a tour, maybe not every time, but you come to our dinners, our farewell dinners, but we love to interview some of our pilgrims and how your experience was. We're all hoping to do that again in October. If you haven't been to Israel, it's life-changing, and maybe you'll be in one of the dramas. Who knows?
Yeah. we might do some filming on the boat with you guys, in the Sea of Galilee. So yeah, if they're long, they'd be in the video.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. If you have to film on the Sea of Galilee.
Another day.
Well, Ken, here let's do another 40 years of this program, right? You can at least you're guaranteed to live to 120 years. That's biblical.
Absolutely.
So,
every 40 years.
Yeah. I am right. Here's to life and to many more years of God using you to tell his stories. And that's what you do so beautifully and visually, and how you write.
We're honored. Well, I just want to thank you, both of you, for your participation in what we're doing right now. I mean, both of you being Gentiles as you are, to have a love for Israel and the Jewish people is manifest in the program itself. And that it's a God thing that you came on board when you did, to be able to share your heart in our Jewish roots.
Well, Ken, it was an honor having you on our program. And like I said, here's to many, many more years of our Jewish roots and Zola Levitt Ministries.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amen.
Keep going.
Love you, boss.